delete everything, and then we take this to Monday. So this Zoom meeting, as it is, it's a public one. However, please, I would only want to react, to interact with those that are my students, because that's the primary focus. Those within the community that want to explain how those trades were basically. So let every other person stay muted, and I do hope you get value from this session. All right, so I think I'll just have one person on mute. Then we just, or two, then we just speak about it. David?
Yeah.
So let's just talk about the trades so others can benefit, because I do I do better when I'm interacting and talking about the price action here.
Okay.
Awesome. So on Monday, we are aware that based off the candlestick profile on the 4-hour, we're looking to buy, right, until we get to, protected supply. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And one thing is we're buying off of this. Okay, sorry. We're buying off of this protected demand, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And from the opposing side, we had this protected supply here.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, those in the community, if you have any question at any point, do not hesitate to ask. All right. So, awesome. So we understand where we were. All we needed to do is, since above this protected supply, there's nothing protected there, we could just go ahead and, indicate that whole level and pay close attention to it when price goes in there. But this is pretty obvious. We're already delivering bullish. Now, from the London session all the way to now, we're in our execution window, the New York session. What we noticed here is that there is no EPA for us to trade off. No clear.
Exactly.
Yeah. The next level for price to rebalance would be here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And we have type 2 EPA here.
Yeah.
Okay. We have type 2 EPA here. And basically, we can't buy directly from any of those levels. We need to still see price make, reactions. Am I correct?
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and given this internal efficiency, price could also regain efficiency right on that supply right there. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this substructural move here. So let's see how price delivers afterwards. So we got into our window. Price pretty much pushed bearish. First, I think that was so we had a news event. Okay, so this was one thing yesterday. This was one mistake yesterday. Sorry, on Monday when we were trading live. Okay, that I had to go back and then check properly. Remember there was a news event on Monday, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing there is, since we have a news event and the market is filled with what? Inefficiencies, am I correct? Imbalance and whatnot. Yeah, and no clear direction. So basically, given this year, for example, the buy money is sitting where? It's sitting in this demand, am I correct? This sell, right? So if we're going to set any limit for any trade on this day, since there was a news event, it should be somewhere within this demand.
Yeah.
We shouldn't even trade until after the news event, since it is filled with inefficiencies. Am I communicating?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so but because of because we did pick that trade, we took a loss here. If you remember, when we got into this type 2 EPA, we went to the lower time frame to refine, and then we got an entry somewhere here with our stop loss here because of this imbalance. So you see, more and more efficiencies were being formed on that Monday. Do you get me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we shouldn't have traded that before the news. We should have just waited for the news, and then we would have avoided that first loss. Do you get me?
Absolutely.
So, but since we didn't wait, we had that loss there. So these are the things that I do actually every trading day, every trading week. I still review every trade to make sure that I can filter out those unnecessary trades to avoid to help increase the win rates. You get me?
Yeah.
So now after the news event, so this was the news event. Boom, right there. So the news event basically came into the EPA level. So we have efficiency right now. And unfortunately, it didn't get to rebalance. Am I communicating?
Yeah.
And because it's a news event, it means we can now pick our entry from where? The 1 minute time frame, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So this was a bullish candle on some other broker feeds, and that will be the shift in momentum, and your entry could literally go in there. But we can't pick this trade because of what? We didn't rebalance. Am I correct?
Exactly.
Awesome. So you see, following everything. So it's very important to follow everything in your playbook so that you can stay longer and stay consistent in the market. Now, since we didn't rebalance there, we are going to wait for price to what? To give us some type of what? Rebalancing. Am I correct?
Exactly.
Okay. Now that rebalancing, we'll be seeking for it on the 1 minute, sorry, on the 3 minute time frame, because obviously price is on EPA. We couldn't catch an entry. Price pushed far away from the entry right here. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we say we want to catch an entry, since price is moving away, we're looking at the next, this level here for a trade, which is the money level for this time frame. But obviously, I can't enter here. The stop loss will be too huge. So I'd rather go for this level, right?
Yeah.
Now, if price does not come into these levels and we're having what? A market structure shift as such, then it therefore means that what? I can go to the 15 minute to check if price has rebalanced. And obviously you can see price isn't rebalancing. Another thing again, price isn't rebalancing. Yeah. So you see here, we have this here, and then we have this here. Okay. Okay. So price, after this candle went higher, you can see price came back here to rebalance. Okay. Then after this candle is formed, or on this candle formation, that's where we'll look at what the market structure shifts or the break of the structure for us to catch that trade right there.
Yeah.
And where is it? So we had that shift. Okay, so this is the point. Let's see. Where's the point on 15 minutes? Right here, where we rebalanced. And then, excuse me. Okay, so we have, from there, we had what? This shift, right?
Yeah.
And we had that trade right there. But fortunately, that was out of our execution window. Am I communicating?
Yeah.
Okay, but nonetheless, we still executed that trade, and that will be what? A loss.
A loss.
You get me? So at this point, we do nothing. We're still looking for the buy, but we do nothing other than what? To wait patiently for our execution window here. You get me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, if this, unfortunately, this was a loss, if this was within our execution window, that would have been a shift, and then where you could have gotten what? Your re-entry. Does it make sense, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, price does this again, and then we have that shift, okay? And what happened? Price came back into this level, which will be the level for our re-entry. Am I correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we enter the buy position there. This is after we have determined, excuse me, this is after we have determined what? Our bias, which is what? Bullish. Am I communicating?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so entry goes there, stop loss goes here, and then we'll go for 1 to 10. But do not forget, in this case, remember I always say something, be aware of your trading environment. Excuse me. Okay, be aware of
Yeah.
your environment. So in this case, price goes into that protected supply. What do we have to do? We have to pay close attention there in case there is a sell setup coming in, and we have to take partials out of our sell because price would literally sell off from there. Am I communicating, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you look at what I'm doing now, you can see I'm not going to my monitoring time frame, which is the 15 minutes. I'm on my entry time frame. Why? Paying close attention for any possible shift in momentum that happens. Then I can quickly go to the left and start checking what is wrong. Do you get me, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point here, not there. At this point here, let's take this back a little. Okay, at this point here, we had a shift, a market structure shift, right? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're reacting off of that supply, but I can see that we've weakened the supply. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Good. So I'm going to check to be certain if indeed we weakened it. So you can see we still had, this level here to monitor at the time. So yeah, we could go ahead now and minimize this. And what do I do when I see that shift? I take what? Major partials from my buy. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Take major partials from my buy. So when I take major partials from my buy, right here on this protected supply, it's already out. My trading window is ended. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Good. So which means I can call it what? A day. 1 to 5 for the day. Does it make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now I literally, since I'm taking partials because of this reason, all right, I can edge the trade also right here, which is what I did basically. So, but because of the Ramadan, I was quite exhausted at this time. So my stop loss was here, but I gave 2.5 was what I used. And all I did on this trade was 1 to 5. I closed it and I left the chart because I needed to go for iftar and then rest. You get me, please?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, the thing there is this here, looking at looking at the Monday's profile, you can see it is heavily bullish. Am I correct? The Monday's flow,
Yeah.
right? So the Monday's flow is heavily bullish already. And that's why we do not want to overstate this particular trade because the average daily range is already reaching. Do you get me, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the average daily, you need to embody everything that is happening in the market. You need to be aware. So the average daily range is already reaching. And therefore, that's why this sell also makes sense still. Do you get me? So
Yeah.
now we go in there and this played around for a while and finally smashed the 1 to 5. And that reason why I didn't want to overstate this sell also is because of what the Monday's flow, which is what is literally going to influence what the Tuesday's flow. Feel me?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. All right. And with that, that's how we ended the Monday's price action for this week. Proceed to Tuesday. Let me switch to today's time frame. Good. So Monday ended. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see what's happening here. Okay. So price still going. Awesome. All right. Now, does anyone have any question as regards Monday's price action?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Anybody?
wait. One yes. So no. Sorry about it. No,
It's
I don't have
clear.
it. You already answered me.
Awesome. Awesome. So the thing there is you need to stay really, really patient and not be in a haste to execute a trade because that's what really leads to a number of mistakes sometimes. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it's very important to play with efficiency for intraday trading. Very, very important. It's becoming more and more important these days. All right. So we proceed
Yeah.
what to Tuesday, and with the mindset that what the flow for Tuesday is going to be.
Bullish.
Thank you. And that's given given the flow and the profile. So given the Monday flow, we're already bullish for Tuesday. That's pretty understandable. And all we needed was the London setup. So it could either be the London continuation setup or the London what? AMD setup. You feel me?
Yeah.
And one thing is certain, we're only going to be trading off of what? Efficiency, especially in London. You get me, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now, since we're only going to be trading off of efficiency, especially in London, what we have right here as we get into our daily cycle range is the Asian range, okay, presenting the Asian low and the Asian high. And
Yeah.
at this time, we do have price, leaning nicely on this efficient demand. Am I communicating?
Yeah.
Okay. And on this efficient demand to the left, where could price literally mitigate? Where do we have money sitting on this demand? Looking at the 15 minutes, you can tell we have money here, we have money here. That is anywhere below the Asian range. Am I communicating?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have money here, and then we have money right there. Okay. Now,
Exactly.
what we're going to do is, could we even buy the continuation setup since we're already on efficiency? The answer is what? Yes. But it just depends on what the entry time frame tells us. You get me, the 3-minute time frame. All right.
Yeah.
When we switch now, because we already convinced our directional bias is what? Bullish, up until we get to protected supply. Now, when we switch to the 3-minute time frame right here, okay, we do realize that we were on, when you follow the money from this level, bullish, okay, where do we have money sitting on last? You're going to see it was here. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we had money sitting here last, and aside from there, we also have money here. Am I communicating?
Absolutely.
Okay, and if this is a 3.6 pip stop loss, this is way lower. So I don't mind adjusting this a bit more, or I could literally just check the 1 minute time frame to see if I have some more imbalance to cover there, just to give. Yeah, so you can see I have imbalance here to cover, cutting through both sides. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that works just fine. Why am I refining this? Because when we had the money sitting, we already had the Asian range sitting on it. You get me?
Yeah.
Okay. And since we already had the Asian range sitting on it, what do we have here? We could literally get into the trade here with a market structure shift or a shift in momentum. Unfortunately, we had none. Do you get me, please?
Yeah.
Okay, so when price pulled back, we're waiting for that shift to happen. It didn't happen. And the only other place it could play out from would be here, where I had my limit order waiting. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So price came right into the limit order, and then that played out nicely for Tuesday. Do you get everyone?
Hello.
Yeah. AMD setup.
Yeah, that's the
Hello.
London AMD setup.
Excuse me. Excuse me, sir.
Please, let me repeat, except you're a student within the Algo community, just stay muted, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so we had the London AMD setup, and that was how we got the buy. Am I communicating?
Yeah.
Okay, and usually we're going to hold this buy until when? Until the New York execution window, except we hit what? A protected what? Supply. Am I communicating?
Supply. Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm going to monitor the trades on what time frame? On the 3-minute time frame. Why? To check to the left every time we have a market structure shift if there is a protected supply. You get me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. So in this case here, I didn't have anything to use to the left until when price started doing all of this here. So price started stalling here a lot. And I'm wondering what the fuck is going on here, right? You have price push bearish, bullish. Now it's giving an internal shift. And at that point, I really want to investigate what I have to what? To the left. Do you get me? Remember,
Yeah.
this each candles here takes 3 minutes. So it's a lot of time for me to investigate a lot of things. Now I go to my higher time frame to check what I got. And what do I see? I see we were on a protected what supply. Am I communicating?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys see it now, please? Are those in the community? Do you see it now, please? Because I know some of us might wonder where. If you don't see it, let me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Wait, brother, it is not be taken out by this.
It was not taken out. It was.
I
Can you see it was not taken out?
Oh yeah. Now I see. Yeah, I couldn't see well.
Yeah, it was mitigated. So we
Okay.
need to get invalidated, which didn't happen at that point. And you know what it's not bad to go in since we already made profit from this. So we're going
Yeah.
there with the sell. But then at the back of our mind, so stop loss should be here. But remember, you always have to account for spread. Am I communicating?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So at the back of our mind, we understand that Tuesday's flow is what?
Bullish.
Bullish.
Bullish. Okay. So because of that, we're going to watch this very carefully and make sure that we don't mess up with the flow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, another thing is this here. Okay, I'm going to leave that for you guys to ask questions and I'll give you the answer. I don't want to say it yet. So we got into execution window, New York, right here.
Yeah.
Right? When we got here, since the flow for the day is bullish, where are we buying from? That's what we need to consider now. Where are we buying from? Okay. The first place to consider, thank you very much, Enigma. The first place to consider is the point of what? Type 2 EPA. I want you to take a very important lesson from here, everybody. Type 2 EPA.
Yeah.
And then the next place to consider is what? This demand here. Right?
Exactly.
Okay. So now on this type 2 EPA, can I buy directly? No, I can't. Why can't I buy directly? Because of what?
Because we have an efficiency.
EPA.
Thank you. All these are magnets to attract price. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Okay. So the only reason why we want to enter any trade here would be if, and only if, we have a market structure shift or a break of a structure, which is what? A shift in momentum. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's watch if we had anything there. And the moment we do, we're taking partials from our cells. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So we didn't, and then our cells hit TP. So it therefore means that what? We have no trade here. Is it making sense?
Absolutely.
So the next other level where we could consider a trade is here. And aside from the fact that it's the last money level within that bullish flow here, it's also a protected low.
Demand.
No. A protected low. You can see
Oh, yeah.
leg that took out the Asian range that was never taken out. Do you
Yeah.
get it? So at
Yeah,
that
yeah.
point there, we literally could go for a trade. So I had a limit. So you could go for a trade within that zone. In this case, mine was in the last possible imbalance of my entry time frame. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had a
Yeah.
limit there. Pretty tricky day yesterday. And wait for it. Boom. Got taken out. Okay. And
Yeah.
I got taken out. That was what? A
A
loss.
loss.
Thank you. And then we could delete this. Remember to always keep your chart clean. A clean chart is a clean mind. So price took it out, dumps to the downside. Where could price possibly react from on this downside? Remember, we already maintained efficiency. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Now we took our daily cycle low, okay? And we understand that the
Mm-hmm.
flow for Tuesday is bullish. Now, this is what I was going to explain to you guys. Can you see the bullish flow from the initial day has been outrun? Am I correct?
Yeah.
That does not still change the fact that the flow is still bullish.
Oh, okay.
Do you get me, please?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you. Okay, I was back testing something here. Ouch, pains me that I have to. Okay, let me use this. So I'm going to show you something here. Where is it? Good. Okay, so if you look at this place here, on this day, on this particular day, the flow for this day was bullish. Am I communicating?
Yeah.
Okay, and because of the flow is bullish, I had this beautiful buy. Okay, now you can see the flow is outrun here. Am I correct?
Yeah.
And that could make you look at the 4-hour profile, telling you that the next 4-hour candle will likely go where?
Down.
Bearish. Am I correct?
Yeah.
But stick with what? The flow, not the 4-hour profile. Whenever you have a definite flow, always stick to the flow.
Okay.
The only reason you want to go against the flow is if you're on a protected supply or protected demand. Do you guys get me, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it clear?
Absolutely.
Willie, is it clear? I don't even think Willie is here.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
He isn't yet.
All right. So that's a very good example there that I want to show you guys. So now let's continue with what we were doing here. Okay, good. So because of that, looking at this, and if you also noticed in the example I just showed, can you see daily cycle was run, indicating that the bearish transaction is likely completed for the day. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Good. Similarly here, daily cycle indicating that what the bullish transaction is likely completed for the day. And below that level, the only possible mitigation would be that level where we indicated initially. Am I communicating, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Which was where? Somewhere here. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think what I did was I checked the 5 minutes and then I decided to go with the 5 minutes imbalance because there was no imbalance on the 3 minutes. Rather what we had on the 3 minutes was what? The unmitigated wick. So I used the 5 minutes in this case for this particular trade. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Okay, and I was pretty greedy with my stop loss too. My stop loss was here. Are we together?
Yeah.
Okay. And for me, because I had, what's the name? Because I had the limit order here, the broker literally pushed my order down, so it made it look like I had what? A sniper entry, but really this was where my order was. Is it clear?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So now this obviously will go forward 1, 2, 10. But I don't like what I see. Why don't I like what I see? Here we have a 3.3 pip stop. Here we have a 3.4 pip stop. So if you look at what we're doing here, ranging up and down, it's telling you that the range for the day is going. All right. So this is communicating to me that the range for the day is going between what? 30, 40 pips thereabout. Am I communicating, please?
Yeah.
Okay, so now if with a 6.2 pip stop loss and a 62 pip target, that is what? Me reaching. Am I communicating, please?
Yeah.
So you can see how I'm always aware of my trading environment. Is it making sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm always aware of my trading environment. Now, who is this person? Please behave yourself. Don't.
Yusuf, I think you're muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
Yeah, sorry. I was speaking. I didn't know. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, this bar here at 62 pips, then I'm definitely reaching, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's okay to reach because we don't know what price will do. However, we can adapt as price proceeds, okay? So all we just need to do is monitor this. Then we pay attention to the move bullish. If we had not gotten this trade here, the best place would have gotten the trade would be what? With a shift in momentum. Now, with a shift in momentum here, where is my entry going to be? Obviously, if you look below, my entry should be somewhere down here because I like to pick the trade from the origin. But do I have an imbalance here?
No.
No. Okay, the unmitigated week I have here is literally down here, which is still me reaching because that is going to give a very, very ridiculous stop loss. Let me see.
Yeah.
So that's a 2.3 pip stop loss. Not bad at all, not bad. Okay, now what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to investigate that level to see if I have some sort of imbalance below there to use. In this case, I do have an imbalance on where on the 2-minute time frame. I'm going to check the 3-minute time frame, the 1-minute time frame rather, also to see if I have something. So 2 minutes is good. So let's go with that.
Do you consider that double? Oh,
Come again.
nah, it's so bad that I thought it's double imbalance somewhere.
Okay, so we look at this here. Okay, now when we have the shift, this is going to be the best place for me to get my entry, but price isn't coming here right now. And I'm monitoring this trade on my 3 minutes to see if I have the shift and price is coming back. Literally, price is running away from my zone. Am I communicating, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
Price is now making new shift, and this means I have to check to see if my 15 minutes is balanced. And indeed, it rebalanced here. And with that rebalancing, means I'm going to consider a trade there. Am I communicating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that trade gave me a loss. Okay. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, then let's see what happens. Then price went bullish again. Now making yet another shift, am I correct? In our reversal window. And then we had another entry here, and that trade played out pretty nice until it was not nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Then when that happened, I had a limit here. Okay. And this limit got triggered. Okay, this limit got triggered. Unfortunately, the trade got to my entry, but it didn't pick me because of spread. This particular trade. So it was pretty hot football. It's fine. Then we go forward 1 to 10.
Yep.
Okay, somewhere around there. And price just moves to that point. Okay. And
Yeah.
at that point there, with the day coming to an end, we needed this guy to get to TP. It's refusing to get to TP. All you can just do is what? Close the trade and be done for the day. So this trade was eventually closed at around 1 to 8, I believe. Yeah, somewhere there. Is it clear?
Yep.
Those were the trades for this week so far. I hope you understand it, everyone in the community.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
do you have any question?
No.
No. Awesome, awesome. All right, guys.
Actually, no.
Yeah, that will be that about that. I think I'll be doing this from time to time, and I do hope it helped someone out.
Absolutely.
You're welcome. Do have a wonderful day. Okay, let me take some questions from just a few, because I have to focus on my trading right now since it's my trading window already, although I'm in the buy from this low here already. So go ahead, ask, let me see, Joanjo.
Yes.
Okay, Joanjo, please go ahead.
Bro, I can ask you, in what case you put limit order in this case.
Come again? I didn't get you.
Sorry, what?
I didn't get what you said. Can you repeat it, please?
In what case you put the limit order, for example, in this case, or in this case, or in this case, for example, in this demand zone, you put the limit order in the week, and this is a lower time frame
Yeah, it's
or
lower,
the block, or anyway.
it's lower time frame. It's lower time frame where you're trying to get the entries, which is usually from 5 minutes downward. So in this case, for example, usually we consider the entries from the 3 minutes. Am I communicating? So if you can't find
Yes, sir.
something suitable, then you can look lower. So you want to go mostly with the last imbalance or the last unmitigated week there. You can see that the last imbalance there.
All right.
Okay. And then in
Cool.
this case here, if you look to the left also, you're going to see the entry is somewhat from where the last imbalance. In this case, you have you can see also unmitigated week, but this was the clear one, which is the 5 minutes last imbalance.
All right, awesome.
Yeah. So it's usually
Okay.
the situation.
Sorry,
And that was basically from the unmitigated week.
I have another question. So this is a push on in USD.
I
Yes,
mean,
and
go
why
ahead.
this point is a strong low for the price reacts to this level.
Yeah, so it's very, that's a very, very good question, which is something that's not actually straightforward for me to explain to you. Okay. Now, the thing there is, when you're trading, the most important aspect of your trading is not the entry, is not the take profits, is not the risk management. Those are the necessary things for your trade to be successful. But the first and most important criteria for your trades is the bias. Okay, you need to have a bias. Are you bullish or bearish? Or are you both bullish or bearish? Then once you have your bias, you can now trade in line, okay, in tandem with that bias. Am I communicating, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, right.
So
Yes, makes sense.
So when you have, you need to be pre-informed, okay? You need to be aware beforehand what your bias is. So if you noticed before I started this day, at the end of Monday, we already knew what our bias is more than likely going to be on Tuesday. Yes, it could change because we don't know how the price action is really going to form. Okay, but we know what the bias is most likely going to be. So the bias for me was bullish, hence why I'm going bullish. But bullish until when? I can't be bullish all day. There have to be reasons where I'm no longer going to be considering myself to be bullish. Do you get me, please?
Yeah.
Okay, so bullish until where? And that was when we got to this point, and this was a point where we could consider going bearish, and it worked out. It doesn't work out all the time this way. Okay, but it just did yesterday, literally. And since the main bias for the day was still bullish, and we had further confirmations, more important confirmation is our daily cycle range, okay, which is an indication that a buy transaction is complete and a sell transaction is likely to kick in, or a sell transaction is completed and a buy transaction is likely to kick in. It makes sense that price could possibly buy again. Do you get me, please? Is it clear?
Right. Makes sense. Makes sense for me. Thank you very much, man.
You're welcome, my bro.
That's very much. This zone is an EPA zone.
Yeah, that's a nice efficiency. To the left, if you pay close attention, try to, when you want to work with EPA, use it mostly from the 1 hour time frame and the 15-minute time frame. Those are the most reliable time frame for you to work with EPA for intraday trading.
Oh, right.
Right.
Nice, very good. Thank you, man.
You're welcome, brother.
Thank you for the time.
You're welcome. All right, guys, stay blessed and have a wonderful trading day. Bye for now. Peace.